There is a place where no one is seen as a stranger, where no one is ever faced with danger. A place that is gentle, kind and light, where nothing would ever trigger a fight. A place that is boundless and wide, where we walk with angels side by side. A place of smiles and happy tears, where our hearts are open and there are no more fears. A place where love is seen on every face and arms are open wide to embrace. A place where everyone measures the same, where you are true though, and yet no one knows your name. A place where mysteries are explored, where truth is accepted and never ignored. A place where those of old age are wide-eyed and still learning, when time seems to rewind and to youth we are returning.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Hello,
Good morning.
Arthur.
Good morning to you. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday and welcome.
Happy day.
And welcome to another session with us.
How you doing out there, everybody?
How are you doing this morning?
Slow.
You slow?
Yeah.
But you're still here, aren't you?
Nuh-uh.
Living in color. What are you doing?
Trying to get in this chair. Everything is tight.
What's tight?
Everything.
Oh,
Pants
I
out of
think
whack.
you got too many pants on.
I'm all right now. Bet you that. Ask John Grayson, he'll tell you.
I don't think John's on here yet, but he might be. He might be. Let's see who's here. Let's see who is here. Let's see who's here. There's my sister, my brother-in-law, my sister. I started to call you yesterday, sissy. I started to call you. Got tied up and forgot all about you, girl. Hope you're doing well. I'll talk to you today sometime. Hey, you're back from Pittsburgh?
Yvette Lee. What's going on up there in Pittsburgh? Girl?
Yeah, where's your sister, Leslie? Where's your sister?
She's out there messing around with Abdul
She's
and
been missing
and
in
forgot
action.
all about everybody.
She's missing in action. There's Dee Dee. Hey, Dee Dee and George. How
George,
y'all
I
doing?
want to talk to you. You got to come to me, boy. You got to talk to me.
And then there's Sinead. Hey, Sinead, all the way from Denmark. She said, funny Denmark today. Funny
Says
Denmark.
what in sunny?
Funny Denmark, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we've got some pretty hot weather here in the Carolinas, but it's been nice, pretty days. Haven't had much rain. Need some rain. So I might go out there and have to do a rain dance. I have to do a few rain dances.
I didn't think you danced much.
Huh?
You didn't dance much. It ain't no rain.
Oh, I hadn't danced enough. Hey, Vern DeVern.
Vern.
Vern's getting ready to go on her Alaskan cruise. If she hadn't already, she's getting ready to go.
Oh, maybe she changed her mind.
No, she hadn't changed her mind. She's going. She's going to have fun too. Bring me some pictures back, Bernie. Some videos. Hey, Pearl.
The Soul Pearl creation.
Pearl. And thank you for thank you, Bernie Vern, for your love gift. Thank you. And thank you, Willie Carr, for your love gift.
Thank you, everybody out there for your love gift.
She called. She said she had some more teas for us. Sandra, I'm sorry I didn't get to call you back.
Had some more what?
Some more tea for us.
Oh,
to bring us. Yeah.
She did call.
Yeah, and I forgot to call her back. We're going to call you sometime today, sweet pie. Let's see. And there's Phyllis and Edward. How are y'all doing?
Phyllis J. Phyllis J.
Doing well.
Edward J.
And then the Brother Blue and the family.
Brother Jew.
Brother Blue and the family. And
Brother Jew.
Then my friend Robert Mayan.
Robert J. Hickbar.
Mayan.
He's and a Hickbar man.
Beautiful wife, Denise.
Yeah, and Denise girl.
Good to have you guys with us today. Good to have you with us. You got something good on your plate today?
No, I got.
You got anything good on?
My plate's empty.
Your plate is empty?
Yeah.
I don't believe that at all. Not at all. No. Let's see. Let's let's see what I want to do. What I want to do here. I'm not sure what I want to do. I want to say, before I get started, I've been in a worship mode all morning. But I wanted to say that I'm noticing, I said this to him last night, that we have never pushed or emphasized for people to pray for guidance, uh, to have God speak to you about everything. And we have not lived that way in our journey. Not even when we were in what you call in the box. We never practiced that a lot, even though we know God did speak at certain times. There were times we heard the voice of God, but that was not something we sought. We didn't try to live our lives by that. And so I've just noticed of late, and it's been happening over the years, but just of late, it just feels like everything's kind of stepped up, and we're getting a lot of guidance, or I should say, influence from spirit, just influence, discernment, and I call it wishes unfulfilled. Now I've had a few times lately when I said I wish certain things would happen, and then they just happen, and it's strange that it's stepped up like that, and I'm not sure if I'm the only one experiencing that. Somebody else may be experiencing it. It's like if I use separation terminology, I would say it's like the Lord is drawn really nigh and communicating more, which I know is no such thing because he's never been far away. And it is not a he, but it is a we. So I'm noticing changes in our interactions with spirit is what I think I want to say. And when I say interactions with spirit, I have to speak sort of kind of in terminologies of separation in order for that to be understood. So when I say that, I'm not saying that we should have the idea that there should be a detectable voice or something speak to us, but that wisdom that is floating up, that's already within you and accessible to you, can come to you, filter through your thoughts, your everyday thoughts, even your ego thoughts, your egotistical thoughts. It filters through or ekes through. So there is no possible way for you to miss what is determined. I'm going to say by determined foreknowledge of God. It's no possible way for you to miss that. It's kind of like with Jeremiah 1:5 when he said, before I formed you in the belly,
I just turned to it.
I knew you. I knew you. So there is in Jeremiah 1:5 gives you a framework that you are existent before the body ever came into existence, and that was in existence prior to the body was known of God, known by God, or should say a thought in the mind of God, if we think of God as an entity. Thank you, Sissy. Thank you, sweetie. I forgot to ask that. Thank you. So it seems as if God draws nigh and then distances.
That's the illusion.
That's the illusion, isn't it? It's like a ebbing and tide. Yeah. And it's been like that. The human existence feels like that many times. And now there are people I think that have maybe live on another level who don't experience the ebbing and tiding. I've never been one to not experience the ebbing and tiding. I've always had that. But I had to live by my knowing rather than my feelings and what feels like is happening. So it's important that we live within the framework of what Jeremiah 1 and 5 has said, which is before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. You existed prior to your body. So there is a you that is not relative to your body at all.
The greatest war that we call and use the terminology warfare is coming into this dimension and a mind that's set up to believe that this is where we all started out.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
the awakening mind will only believe what it can condition, operate in, believe, and feel and sense. So the actual warfare is the mind
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
not accepting the fact that the you that existed in the same class of God. It's the mind ego that gives off the idea that if you identify as being one with God, you're blaspheming. And that's not true.
True.
Outside of the ego, you can handle that. But if you're in the ego, your ego will find everything possible to keep you in individuality and separation.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, Sister Sharon. Good morning, Diakla. Good morning to you guys. They just popped in. So birth is not your beginning. Type that in. Birth was not my beginning.
No.
And death is not your end.
Nope.
And
It's
birth,
impossible.
yeah.
Because when it said God is spirit, if it's just no way that you're going to get around what we're talking about just because your mind don't believe it or don't accept it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it like this: you settle the case. Go ahead and leave your body, die. If you can do it that quick, you'll find out. And I hope they let you. Hope you can come back, because when you do, you will be saying the same thing that we're saying to you online and been saying for months and years.
Yes. Type that in. Birth is not my beginning and death is not my end. Yes, absolutely. So when I say birth is not my beginning, it is even conception is not my beginning. Because that's just the beginning of the body, being formed. However, the life that's in that is
the spirit that it says in the book that raised Jesus from the dead is the spirit that we are as the eternal self.
Mm-hmm. Just having a fetus in the womb is not life, because there are many women who have stillborns.
The body is a shadow.
Yes. So the life that's in that body is what you are.
Now, when the dust is settled, you won't have much to say about opposites. You'll notice the opposite. You're aware of the opposite. But that would tell you that you're more aware of opposite than you are of being the presence of God.
Yes. Now, Jill mentioned something. Hey, Jill. She says, I have been here as long as here has been.
That's right.
So the realization of that is what's really, really important, that we live within the framework of that. Because otherwise we get caught up in the addiction of humanity, of being a human. And I'm not saying when I say that, I'm not talking about walking around in an altered state, thinking that you're untouchable and all of this kind of stuff. I'm just saying that you are much more than what we've been told, what the world told us we are. Even what life experiences told us what we are.
Everything that we went through in growing up and in this world of doctors and physical cars and everything that's finite, all the way through school, they taught us away from our true identity.
Exactly. Now,
it was not intended to let anybody find out who they were.
Yeah, they didn't want us to find that out. Or
That's right.
When I say they,
don't want anybody.
The machine.
Don't want everybody to be aware of that.
The machine doesn't want us to find that out, and
so the machine don't have any business talking more and communicate more than our true identity.
Right. Now, Sinette says that. She says, so the purpose here is to let my soul shine through my body. Yes, yes,
Here's
yes.
a relaxing state I put you in, or that you find out. Your presence, or the presence that you are, has never been at a distance.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The presence of God has always been there, here, you, it, whatever you want to add on to it. You are that.
Mm-hmm.
That presence don't stop presencing itself because you're not aware of it.
That's true. Now, Robert says this. Hey, Robert, he says consciousness is non local. Human bodies are biological avatars with onboard intelligence that's pre-programmed for survival. And these avatars are communication devices that receive and
That's right.
broadcast consciousness.
They're like microphones
Mhm.
and
And they
telephones.
are also programmable, he said. Yes, yes, by all means. That's exactly the way I know that's true. And Sister Chris, hey, darling, she was here last week visiting us. She said something, and it has stayed with me ever since she said it. She was referring back to when she had her episode in the hospital, and she was in there for several days without consciousness, really, other than the body was alive. There was no mind online, I should say. The brain, part of the brain just went offline. And she made a statement while she was here, Sister Chris. You said this. You said, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't go anywhere. And I wasn't, she said, I didn't see anything. I didn't know. There was no feeling of a me, she said. And I may be paraphrasing it a little bit. There was no feeling of a me. And that when she said that, it made me realize that what we think is us is simply a construct. And if that construct goes offline, there's no me here. So what is here when there's no me here? I think that the what is here when there's no me here is consciousness itself, which is God itself. And at that point, I've heard there was a lady who wrote a book. Her name was Bernadette Roberts. I think she was a Catholic nun. I think, I don't quote me on that. She wrote a book called No Self. How that she came into the realization that she didn't even exist, in the sense that what was here was not a me. It wasn't a personal me. And Sister Chris made me think of that on last week when she mentioned it. So when God says, "I knew you before you were before you were formed, before the body was formed, before I formed you,"
You can't get rid of what we're talking about as the eternal essence or the spark just because one morning you don't feel good.
right.
You don't want to talk. You don't want to answer the phone. You don't want to go to work. You don't want to go to school.
You don't want to
The
get
whole
out
lot
of
of
bed. You don't want to get out of bed.
It's a whole lot of you don't want to. You don't feel good. You don't feel your back hurt. Your legs hurt. That is not enough sway to stop your eternal presence from being the presence of God. You must eventually, not because it is said online, it must be a personal awakening moment that when I sit down and I listen to you talk, you should be able to know who's talking through you. But that presence don't turn on and off.
No, it doesn't.
Just because you're not in church or you're not praying, you're not seeking, you don't feel a revelation, you don't hear God's voice, you don't hear a whole lot of empty, in and out and yada. You think God, your God out there. Let me put it like this. When I've discovered that everything that Jesus is, God is, I am as an eternal spirit, I have no more problem with anybody talking to me at all about anything because I know where it's coming from. I know where it's not. I know where it is. But God is never not. He's always is. He's not just showed up or just became into your life. He's is the God does not come into people's lives. They just become aware of it, seeming like something came. But he has always been the life that keeps your fingers moving and your legs walking. If they stop walking, that does not remove God from being your eternal presence. That has nothing to do with the holidays. That has nothing to do with the sunny days. It has nothing to do with rain, sleet, or snow. I'm sorry, you are stuck with God irregardless.
And when we say the word God, a lot of times that feels like a separatist thinking.
Oh,
Because
glory.
in order for God to be God and me or me, then that means there's a separation or an opposite. And you just said no opposites.
There is
no opposites. And so it's important that we live within that framework. And
I you know, I thought Miss Pearl, I wish I had one of those shirts you made where in the front of, instead of putting I am, just put it in the front and the back of it, God is. And then somebody look at it and say, God is what? I said, you standing there looking at me inside your essence. I mean, God is. And that's it. The storm is settled. When I found out that there's a possibility that the translators who wrote Genesis did not write that or publish that or establish that in its original form from the beginning, and found out there is a possibility that we was on earth in another form, in another suit before Genesis. As a spirit, we are that. Okay? Have a problem with it in your head and your ego? Leave your body. Shut it down. Do anything. If you commit suicide, you're going to be able to recognize that too. Go ahead and stop. Stop breathing. Go get an injection and just lay your burden down. The burden that we're dealing with, or do we have to keep dealing with a burden? Now, once the awakening moment of what we're saying is manifested, or, you know, I keep saying something and I hear something inside me say, it don't have to even manifest.
True.
Because it manifesting is what it designed to do.
Have you noticed that, and I know many of you probably noticed this, that you can have one issue in your life that you need to get past and you need to overcome and you need to get this thing resolved. Once it's resolved, not long after that, the mind finds another thing to be disturbed about.
You see an ant.
It's constantly, it's like the human condition is a constant looking for something to be disturbed about.
It loves drama.
Yeah. And so it seems as if to get away from that, and I don't want to mess with that. I'll come back to that later. I want to just that'll open up a whole new can. So Nat says this. She says, the now is eternal. Yes, only the now is eternal. So if I remain in that now, I remain eternal. And in the present, we have the presence of good. Yes. Pearl says she's going to work on that for you, Pastor.
Okay.
She'll work on that. Let's see what Robert said. He said, your avatar's brain and nervous system cannot contain all of you. Amen. That's exactly yeah. Just a spark is gifted for you. Just a spark is gifted for you to choose to cultivate within the garden of your mind. A mind that was programmed for 7 years before you gained access to it. You have it now. Who's driving? Did you? That shut my brain down, didn't it? It shut my brain down. Yeah, who is driving? Who is driving? Because there are many times you get to your destination and you weren't even present, or you weren't even thinking about it before how you got there. You think about, okay, I just drove several miles without really being conscious and aware.
I went all the way to High Point yesterday, day before yesterday, to pick up sewing bobbins for my machine. I misunderstood the owner.
That was Friday.
That was
Friday,
Friday.
actually.
I misunderstood his time for being in,
He said he closed at 11 a.m.
and I don't know why I heard 7. Maybe my mind was picking up 7 instead of
Because
11.
he said he opens at 7 and closes at 11.
Oh, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I went over there, and the place was closed. I got on drive about a half tank of gas out of the Jeep, and that thing don't play with gas. And I got ready to pull off. I said, doggone it, I did it again. I said, I come all the way over here, and ain't nobody here. And I heard, I got ready to pull off, and the spirit didn't say it like it was a thunder and lightning on an angel. The inner self said, wait, sit here and wait. And I said, wait. I said, I might have to. And my mind said, well, I guess I'll be here at 2:00. But I found out that he wasn't intentionally to come back because he had been waiting on me, and I got blocked up by a whole lot of things and traffic and all that. And then finding the place, I had to make some detours because they shut streets off. When I got to him, I got to the place. There was a lady, 2 ladies, and a boy coming in the house next to the sewing shop. And I said, you know anything about what time they'll be here? The girl said, well, it's another car that they drive that looks like the one sitting in the parking lot. And I said, okay, thank you. So I started to take off in Jeep, and he said, wait, my said self. I said, my saying self. Now, another thing you need to understand, God does not use words to speak to himself, to speak to himself in you in just one way. He does not use words. So that means if the word was created, or the world was created by word, what kind of word was it outside of God being himself communicating? So I sat there and I waited. After a while, I looked, he said, you'll see a car coming up down the road. One of them cars that you get ready to look at is the lady coming back. I looked up and the signal was on one of the cars, and it was her and her boy. Now, why did I go to the sewing shop? It wasn't there to get a bobbin. Before I walked out the door, I often feel Jesus in me, or the Christ self essence, turning around and looking at somebody through my eyes. I turned and looked at her, and all of a sudden, I saw her father, her whole history with her baby daddy. And I spoke to her about the details of why she got this job, why I was there. And when I looked around, she said, you're going to make me cry. Before she could say it, that woman was boo-hooing. I blessed the Christ in her when I saw her. She said she didn't know anything about the part, but when she got in there, the guy left the bobbin on the table, and she called him. She said, wait, let me call him, because he won't be back today. She called, and I got the bobbin, and it's working in my machine. But here's the gist of the event. I went there to speak to the Christ in her and to her little boy. And they woke up right there in the machine sewing shop. That was my destiny and purpose. Not so much using the bobbin for the sewing machine, but the bobbin was just a hook. Once you see this, please hear me with the heart of the mind of God. Once you see this, your ears, nose, mouth, and all your gates will open up to seeing, hearing, smelling, and tasting the presence of God in so many absolutely phenomenal, beyond description ways. That what you hear other people seeking for, you know that they are not seeking from the real self.
Yeah, that's true.
God is so us that the mind has trouble handling it. If you're going to make anything mad in the demonic world, wake up. Just go ahead. I double dog dare you to wake up because you are a threat to all darkness. And let me tell you something else. Darkness is presented for us to look at and see it with light, how it is being used to direct us into the greater awareness of pure consciousness.
I heard a man say yesterday, it was so beautiful where he gave this analogy. He was talking about a tree. He said how trees grow.
Mm-hmm.
He said that trees grow in two directions
Yep.
at the same time.
That's right. They
At
sure
the same
do.
time. And he says the seed in the ground begins its first growth by descending.
It actually deteriorates to
It
a point. It
deteriorates,
explodes.
and then it descends into the
Mhm.
darkness of
The
the
essence
earth,
in the seed.
into the darkness of the earth, and then spreads its roots out, and it has to when it does that, it has to go against a lot of resistance
That's
in
right.
the earth.
That's
And
right.
so it said it doesn't come out on top of the earth until it's broken all of the resistance.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see it come out on top of the earth, it begins to stretch toward the light. But that tree is stretching in two directions at the same time.
It's growing
So
in the ground.
Mhm. So the darkness is very, very important.
Did you hear what she said? Darkness is very, very important.
Yeah. So now, if I use the analogy you just gave about what happened to you going to High Point
Mhm.
and to look for that bobbin, darkness, I could say, would be the feeling and the situation that made you feel as if you had gone over there for no reason
Mm-hmm.
and used your gas for no reason
Mm-hmm.
and missed the timing.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, because you didn't realize what the man had said, you even get upset because you feel like the man lied to you,
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. And then to that would be considered darkness, because it would be something that would bring up negative feelings, negative emotions, feelings of frustration, all of those things. And that's what we call darkness. And I would label it as darkness. So here you are in the dark,
Mm-hmm.
but the darkness is producing something that's going to bring light.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's the odds of a establishment that closes at 11 a.m.? What's the odds that one of the workers is going to come back?
Now, there you go. There you go.
So he
said
that this is
He
why
said,
you went.
I said-
This is why you went. It wasn't for the bobbin
no,
necessarily.
no.
So the bobbin, and it starts way back before even you going. It starts with the bobbin breaking in your machine.
This is what we are saying. Let me tell you something.
So it was like a setup. The bobbin breaking in your machine was to bring you to the point
Yeah,
of meeting
that-
the lady in High Point.
That's right. Now I done bought this same bobbin from Amazon many, many times and tried to get the thing to work and it wouldn't work. But this time, the lady told me before I left, she said, "You won't have any problem with that bobbin." I said, "Well, I got all of these from Amazon and they didn't work." She said, "This one will." So I come home and I started fumbling with it and it wouldn't fit. So I had to take the inner part of it out. When I did, I put that bobbin in there and locked it in gear, but it didn't sit in there like the original one straight. That flap that locks it in was turned down. And that was the only way it would go in my machine.
Yeah.
Miss Pearl, I put that thing in there and tested it on 3 layers of denim cloth. And it sewed through every last one of them. So right now in my sewing machine is the bobbin that I bought from High Point yesterday.
So I'm writing this down because I don't want to miss it when I want to forget it when I start to say this, because I didn't want to miss what you were saying either. How many things, think about this, guys, how many things are happening or not happening in your life just to set you up to be the presence for someone else in another time? What if Everything that's happened to you that you consider negative has been a setup to lead you into being presence for someone. Because that's what happened to you. It set you up, the bobbin breaking, the driving the high point and missing the time, all of that. The lady forgetting something and having to come back.
Yeah, she had to come back to the
All of
office.
that was the setup.
She was the office manager.
All of that was the setup for presence, for her to experience presence.
Yeah.
And it's so gosh, that's so awesome.
And she
That is
also
so awesome.
wisdom me with the kind of thread that I need to use with my machine
Yeah.
that they use to do upholstery work on car seats.
Right. So it benefited you.
Yeah.
But you were being navigated and orchestrated.
I would say
and
the Christ in her and the Christ in me was wisdom itself.
right. But I'm talking about the whole situation.
The whole situation.
The whole situation was an
Even
orchestration.
Traveled all the way back to coming to this earth.
Yes.
The whole situation.
The whole situation was an orchestration. Type this in. My life is being orchestrated by God. Type that in.
Paul said, the life that I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of. Not the faith getting, faith seeking, not finding, but the faith of my eternal self.
So now Mama Chris is saying this. She's saying, so exactly, the darkness was me. So it could wake up and see the different roads that I would travel and now be present in a different way in a new day.
Now darkness becomes your servant and is submitted to doing everything that it can to make sure that light is revealed.
And darkness is necessary.
Necessary. Not nasty. If it's nasty darkness, stinking darkness,
necessary.
Squared up darkness, round darkness, don't get caught up with the way it happened. Wait, he said, wait. And you will see. But if he told Jeremiah, he said, there will be many that will come after you. What's coming after you is your mind. The mind is after you, not dethroning it and making Jesus Christ your essence that has never been anything else but the truth of you. So the truth of all of us, save or not save, church or no save, enlighten or no lighten. The truth of us is God.
Yes, it is. That goes back to what Sinette said earlier, when she said, so the purpose here is to let my soul shine through this body. Just let it shine through this body. Let
me give you a little mystery, Sinette. Years ago, my wife and I studied from a man named Watchman Nee. Watchman Nee got a book where he talks about open and brokenness.
Yes. And release of the spirit.
Release of the spirit through brokenness. When I studied and investigated into the mystical side of how they, the barnacles on a dry dock ship is serviced, they take a scanning machine and go over the hull of the ship to find the weak places in it where the barnacles that have stuck to it have deteriorated the metal. What they do is take a special machine and break those barnacles off of the side of that hull of that ship so that it can still be used. So the barnacles reveals to the repairman on the ship where the weak places are. And the weak places are there and designed to be repaired. Your repairing is the presence of your eternal essence, Christ self. If it was not for the Christ self being in your body, you would actually, be in your body would turn to dust.
Yeah, it will. And it does.
And I'll say it again. These bodies are moving because you are in there as the eternal self, and you're not going to leave your body until you, the Christ self, is finished with it. It does not drive you out because of sickness or because of being hurt and disappointed. It cannot, it is not allowed to depart you from this body until you have finished with it through your sacred contracts. And your contract is God. Lord have mercy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to cut a flip here in a minute. I'm about to hatch a square duck egg and hatch that thing when nobody's looking. I will stay until the destiny says leave.
Exactly.
And if destiny makes a mistake and claim itself early, I'll stay there and correct destiny. You are the God correction of everything that violates your essence.
I just heard something else.
Hallelujah.
I just heard something else when you said that
Mm.
you are the God of this body.
Thank you. Thank you.
You
When
are,
you get ready,
you are the God of this body.
when you get ready to leave, not when the doctor says, not when the medical conditions say, you will stay there.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Leslie, your daddy is still there because Jesus Christ is there. He ain't there because God extended his life. God is your father's life, and you are watching the miraculous power of God inside of you and everybody. What God see in one, he see through all. He's the all-seeing self, the all-wisdom knowing self. He is the self of the himself. There's no other real self outside of God. Everything else is a fake. Let me tell you something else. When God gets through with being inside of our certain government positionalities, they'll leave their bodies. That don't mean they have stopped abusing people in the earth because of their powers of darkness. It means that they will not be able to see the Christ until the final moment on
Yes.
the other side.
Yes. 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 Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
My case is resting. I'll tell you something else. Whatever is going on in DC, it will come to an end because anything in this world has a beginning and ending. The only thing that does not have a beginning and ending is the eternal self.
You know, I hear you, and I think a lot of people are focusing on what's happening politically and all of this right now.
Isn't that something?
And I found myself the last few days looking at everything that's happening and realizing it's not really important.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to say what you said is irrelevant, but none of it is really important. If you were on your deathbed right now, how important would it be what happens in Washington? If if uh if right now one of your loved ones was at the point of dying, how important would it be what's happening in Washington?
Mm.
How important would it be that you got a bill due Monday?
Mm.
How important would it be that you don't have a car like everybody else has and you want a new car? How important would it be at that moment? So the things that we focus on as being humans is because we're humans and we want this environment that we're in and on this earth to be perfect. There is no such thing. And it is not important because if at any moment you were facing your mortality, none of this would be important. The fact that you had a house or not had a house, the fact that the bank owned a house, the fact that you didn't get a check, none of that would be important at all. So it's like we focus on the things that are not important.
Tell them what you discussed with me last night about the reverse mortgage. Tell them what you told me last night, percentage wise, all that you talked about movies in the front row.
Okay, I'm going to briefly talk about it because I don't want to talk about it a lot. But
as much as you need to.
Yeah, I found out the percentage of minorities that get reverse mortgage is very, very low compared to European or Caucasian or white people.
Mm-hmm.
the people of color very rarely get reverse
Very
mortgages.
percentage wise.
And the system has set it up where they wouldn't qualify.
Did y'all hear that?
They wouldn't qualify.
The system is set up for dark-skinned people,
people of
color,
color, to not qualify.
to be qualified for it.
To not qualify. And because of their life situations, a lot of them don't have enough equity in their houses.
That's right.
So they don't qualify, first of all, for that. So there's only like 6% of people of color, blacks in particular, that actually qualify for a reverse mortgage. And so when we got that reverse mortgage, that was against all odds.
It was.
It was against all odds.
Do you guys hear what she's saying? It was because the Christ in you over the years have sufficiently revealed itself in blind sight of supporting us online from different angles, and causes us to be able to have the funds to keep this house up to when they came for inspection from the inspector. Twice he came, lost the information, and had to do it over, and found out that we qualified under the most strictest conditions that most people don't pass.
When you say most people don't pass, that means a lot of people get appraisals and then they come back to the underwriters with conditions that have to be met for the house to actually qualify. And we came back with an appraisal with no conditions that had to be met.
And turned around and made our own prediction of how much we were supposed to pay back on the second lien on the house, which put us way over $500,000 for this house. Now, wait a minute. With humility in my heart and tears of brokenness, there are people right now that our government will not take care of. They're just going through a tornado and hurricane. Their houses and homes in different countries have been wiped out. They got nowhere to stay. And my heart's desire and intercession prayer is that something will wake up the foundation of our political allies to put more attention on helping these people that just lost their families and homes. They got nowhere to go. It wiped out everything, flattened everything. These people ain't got nothing but trash to go back to. And yet our government is so wrapped up in narcissism that it cannot see the drastic position that these people are in. It's crazy. But God prevails. God is never and will never turn his back on them.
Well, speaking to that, I've realized that if there are so many reasons why we should not have qualified.
Yeah, that's right.
I won't say it like that because we've done our due diligence. However, we just got under the wire with the appraisal for the amount of equity that's in this house. The appraisal of this house, now the market is shifting.
Yes, it is.
So the house values are going down.
Down.
We just got
it at the peak of the moment. God wasn't there just then. He was there. He was there all the time.
All the time. Now, does that mean we're not saying everything's perfect. No, everything's not perfect. However, and this is why I said a minute ago that have you noticed that when you get past one hurdle, the mind finds something else to be disturbed about.
That's constantly.
It's going to find something else to be disturbed about. It's not necessary to live in fear, but we often do live in fear. Even when it's like a habit. to live in fear. Something else is going to happen. Something else is going to happen. Something else is going to happen. And you never find your place you never find this place of peace or contentment, because you're constantly looking for over your shoulder. My baby girl, my dog, she has developed this thing since she can't hear very well. When she eats, her bowl and her water and her food is facing a spot in our kitchen where her back is to our front door. So what she does when she gets ready to eat now, because she's insecure and on guard, she'll eat a little bit, look up and look to the side.
Wolf, they do that.
Back, but she didn't used to do that. She does it more now because she can't hear. And so she'll look. She's consciously on guard that something might happen.
That's right.
That's because of the fear that she's now experiencing because she can't hear.
That's right.
And it's not a fear like, not that kind of fear, but I've got to be a little bit more alert. So she's adapting. We are just like that dog. Once we find out God is our source and something is taken care of, the next thing our mind finds that needs to be fixed, that we think God's supposed to fix, we find ourselves on guard and constantly looking because we think that something else is going to happen. And so it's just a habit. It's a human habit of thinking that way, that something else is going to happen. You ever heard the phrase, this feels like it's too good to be true? Yeah. So whenever things work out, it feels like it's too good to be true. The mind says, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. And so I found this unit, this mind unit, thinking in terms of fear more than it should. So I'm looking at life now, the born again, I'm recontextualizing what it means to be born again. What it means to be born again for me now means it's a reset. Something happened. So now I'm looking at this thing differently. So I'm realizing that God is our source. Type that in. God is your source. And I don't mean a separate God somewhere up in the sky. I mean in the God that's in the life of that is the life in your body is your source. There is no person, no system, no government that is your source. So unfortunately, there will probably not be a government that will fix all of those situations for those people. But they can find the source within themselves and their lives will be fixed.
That's right.
There was no government that helped us to get the reverse mortgage.
That's right.
So we cannot look to the government for our help. And so we cannot think of that in the same sense. Hey, Norman. Hey, Pastor Norman. Yes, sir. God is our source. God is the life of this body and is our source. And so don't look outside yourself for help. And
another thing that helped out is my age. They use my age.
They use my age. They use the age of the youngest borrower.
Oh, I thought it was the age of the oldest one.
It's the age of the youngest borrower.
Oh, excuse me.
Because if they'd used your age, we'd have got even more money. You would have gotten even more money.
Would have got more.
Would have gotten more. But we're only 9 months apart, so it wouldn't have been that much more.
Yeah.
We're only 9 months apart. I got a birthday coming up, by the way.
Who?
I got a
You're going to be 79.
I'm going to be 78.
You 77 now.
I'm 77 now.
You're a little bitty thing.
Yeah.
You still a baby.
We're going to be the same age then.
You think so?
Yeah, until November.
I'm going on to 80.
God is your source, and God is the life in this body. God is the life of this body. And what Pastor just said to us a moment ago, there is nothing that can evict you from this body.
No.
There is no disease, no anything that can evict you from this body. You
are full charged with or without anybody telling you, remember what I said. God does not use words to communicate with you. It's translated into words, but the actual communication of God is stillness. And stillness speaks louder than words.
So when you heard you was in High Point, you were sitting there and you realized this place was closed, and you started to pull off, and you heard wait.
Yeah.
Wait. That word wait went against your nature to be impatient.
Thank you.
You had to override it, didn't you?
Yep.
You had to override that word wait, overrode your normal tendency
right.
to be
Because
impatient.
I had to run and I'd get ready to head back to the house.
Yeah, yeah. That's a powerful word.
You ain't lying.
Because his normal tendency is to be impatient.
That's right.
So that was a really powerful word, Mr.
Ain't
Sawyer.
that something?
Mm-hmm. That was type that in. That was a powerful word. That word, wait. That was a powerful word. But I noticed this too, that when we do hear God speak to us, when it comes as if it's separate from apart from us, and it comes to us, it seems to come to us. It appears as if it's coming to us. I found that when we hear it like that, it makes us immovable. It's like it comes with so much force that it actually causes you to fall in line. It brings you into alignment.
His communication automatically performs itself.
It does.
Without an okay from the mind, ego, or darkness. Darkness knows that God is our true self. If anybody knows anything, darkness is submissive to the Christ in us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Darkness knows that we are a Lord Master in Christ. I tell people all the time, do you know inside of every patriarch and every prophet and everybody in the Bible, from meanness, from Ruth to Tudor, the Christ essence is in every last one of those patriarchs in the Bible, the King James Version, the Ethiopian version, the Jeremiah version. I don't care what version it is. When they said make Jesus Lord, it don't mean you do something to make him. He's saying acknowledge. Don't want to? Don't worry about it.
Don't go back to
still Lord.
All right. Going back to how your life is being orchestrated by God. Let me read this in Acts.
Excuse me.
Okay. In Acts 2, I'm going to read it to start at the verse 22 for clarity's sake. It says, you men of Israel, hear these words, Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as you yourselves also know. 23rd verse says, him being delivered by the determinate counsel and foreknowledge of God. You were delivered in High Point. Listen to me, boo. Listen to me. Listen to me. You were delivered in High Point by the determinate counsel and foreknowledge of God.
Now, I've been to that council chamber, and that's where that came from.
But you were delivered to High Point.
Yeah. Through determined counsel.
Because it was already determined by the council.
Yes.
And what God knew was supposed to happen and is going to happen.
The voice of the council said, wait.
It was set up.
Hey,
it was set up.
The council said, wait. And my Lord spoke unto my Lord, and he waited.
So we in our lives, we don't realize how many times we are actually being delivered into situations. We're being delivered into situations in order, and it's because it's already been determined that you should be there at that spot.
And she told me on the phone inside, she called him and said he works 2 jobs and he was not going to be coming back. So she took care of it and called him, and he told her what it was. And I got it.
So it's not about whether you got it or not. It's about you were put in that spot for her. For her.
That's right. It wasn't for me.
So
it was for her.
if our life is already, if the counsel is already determined what it is to be, we might as well just relax.
Now that's a good rest in the identity of the
We
Christ.
might as well.
Now wait a minute.
Might as
You
well
got
just
to,
relax.
listen. I want you to all listen. You got to make up this. You got to make this mind wake up.
Yeah, wake up.
Yeah, where is God? And from what position is God working in your life? I got to pray about it. No, you don't. I got to seek the Lord of it. No, you don't. The seeker been seeking from day one. If there ever was a one day, the seeker never stopped seeking. He's the seeker of every one of us. Inside of every one of us, seeker he is. You don't have to pray. People pray to God like they got to stick him on a situation. I got to put God in this. You can't put God anywhere he already is. You can't take him out of where he ain't never been out of. Come on, let's go home now. Let's go fully in the house. Don't stick your head in the door. Open the window, stick it in the window. Open the door of your seeing and look at the glory of God that is shining through you without your awareness. That's the miracle of resurrection. The new birth experience is nowhere close to finding out what true resurrection is. It is only barely a scratch on the table. Now you are ready to walk and talk the talk and never open your mouth.
Now, Jill says this. She says the mind is supposed to be our servant and not judge, critic, and jury.
Thank you.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
I want
to say to this, Sandra mentioned this, it's all predestinated. And I know some people, when we get to talking about predestination, a lot of people say, well, it was going to happen anyway. No, that's not what I'm saying. When we say it was destined, it was determined that you be in high point at a certain point. It was determined.
It didn't happen because anyway, it happened because of the way.
Well, yeah, but it was determined for you to be in high point.
Yeah.
It was God's intent that you be in high point at that moment, and for that lady to forget something, so she would have to come back. So it was orchestrated. It was determined. So when I say predestined, I don't mean that you should just lay down and let everything happen because this is what's going to happen anyway. No, there was a lot of things, a lot of factors, a lot of things happened to get you in high point. A lot of things happened to place you in high point. Before the word wait, there was a lot of things that took place that caused you to end up in high point at that particular moment. And there was a lot of things that took place in that lady's life for her to be at that point when you were sitting in the parking lot. There are a lot of things that had to be juggled, moved, manipulated, changed. And that was the working of God. That was the working of God.
As a song that comes up in me, I'm going to lay down my burden down by the riverside. Down by the riverside. Going to lay down my burden down by the riverside.
Study war no more.
Ain't going to study no more. No.
We're going on the road, Pastor. We might need some help if we go on the road with that. I tell you.
That old song that when I get to heaven, I'm going to sit down. You are already seated It's time for you to take a seat and rest and let go of trying to bamboozle God
So
by
now,
praying
now,
all the time.
so now I am so excited about the fact that I know God is moving in our lives. We're just not aware of all of the things that have to take place to position us at certain places and put the presence there,
Mhm,
to
mhm,
put presence in certain places. This isn't haphazard. It's
mhm.
not by accident.
That's right.
And that's what I mean when we say predestined. It's not by accident. None of this is an accident. None of the things that are happening to you is an accident. They are the orchestration in process. It's the orchestration in process. Type that in. Nothing that has happened to me is an accident. It is the orchestration in process. Type
It
that
is
in.
the ultimate, the highest class of God essence working through us than could ever be.
Mhm.
Beings, old folks say, beings you want to degrade yourself. I'm sorry, honey. You are not going to be able to get by with degrading yourself any less than being one with the Father. You cannot downgrade your level of status identity just because things don't look a certain way. It ain't working right. It ain't never stopped working with God.
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
Your eternal self is never stopped. It will not. Jesus said, not leave you nor forsake you. I'm sorry, you can't just get rid of God just because you don't feel like he's working for you or working at all. And God is not working for you. He is there doing everything under nature. His natural temperament is to take care of us effortlessly.
That's what love is.
Thank you.
That's what love is.
That's why I like taking care of you and you don't have to ask that.
That's what love is. Love
Mhm.
is. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes, 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 yes.
Mhm.
So we've been here an hour, and it's time for us to take off here. I think we said what we need to say today. I hope it blessed you. I hope it helped you.
Thank you.
And I want you to position yourself now to give. I want you to do that if you would, and show by your giving whether or not you honor what's being said. And we thank you. We know that you do. We know that you do. Yes, nothing is happening to me that is an accident. It is an orchestration.
Appointed time.
Mhm.
You know, I see y'all put them adjectives on the end, appointed times, and God will show up. I don't even have no trouble with that anymore. I just look at it.
Well, it's true. Everything happens at the appointed time.
Yeah. I can erase that out. Appointed time.
How can you erase it out with what you just told us about High Point?
But I
That
know
wasn't appointed
Let me
time.
tell you something. God is outside of appointments. He's the pointer.
Well, that's what an orchestra. What's what the conductor does with an orchestra? He points.
Anyway, I'm trying to tell you something.
What you trying to tell
I'm
us?
trying to tell you about all appointments are filled.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to tell you something.
What you trying to tell us?
Huh?
What are you trying to tell us?
God is.
Of course.
With or without appointment, God is.
I don't think what you're saying gonna change anything right
I
now.
know, but I got to say it.
Oh my
Sit
goodness.
down at the river of Jordan. Stick your feet in the water and let the Christ bathe your feet with healing power. For there is a healing Christ and a healing Jesus that's working through every last one of you, and he cannot stop the healing presence in your body because it is the DNA, RNA that's working from the Christ self that truly exists. And all these atoms and molecules that are operating through your body now is going to culminate itself into a manifestation of the wonderful power of awareness, of consciousness of Christ that's going to blow your socks off and never take your shoes off.
Okay. Okay.
Get ready to look.
Okay.
I say get ready. Open your eyes and let the sight of God see the Jesus in everything you do.
Hey, Ollie.
All the J Hickbar.
He's saying thank you. Hey, Ollie. Wish I'd known you were on here. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you.
Glory be to God, Oliver J. Leslie Lee Hickbar.
And Leslie said, hit the like booting.
Hey, the Booton, I thank you for the gifts that you're sending in the mail, sending through the Cash App. I thank you for sending love. Love does not procrastinate because it is the flow of God 24/7.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We love you too, Ollie.
Thank
We
you.
love you too.
Oliver J. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
We love you too. Pastor Norman, if you're still with us, give me a thumbs up about whether or not you're going to be with us on Tuesday night. We plan to be back with you guys on Tuesday at 7 for another life class. So we look forward to that conversation with you.
Glory be to God.
And I've enjoyed today. Have you?
But Oliver, I got to get back with you on your line, on your class, man. I ain't forgot about you.
And those of you who haven't ever been online with Brother Oliver, you guys need to see him on Thursday.
Yeah, talk to him. Look at him. Let him know who you are.
They do a wonderful session on Thursday nights, and
throw him a good old hot dog over there
on Zoom, and they do a wonderful session.
He'll be so glad to see you and hear from you. It'll knock his shoes off. I want him to take shoes off.
So I want you to avail yourself of that. I want you to take advantage of the fact that that's coming. That presence is coming to you from Oliver and Yolanda. So yeah, go ahead and watch them. Sometimes we're able to get on with them, and sometimes we're not. But we try to get with them as much as we can. And their sessions are so inspiring and empowering. Because they talk about how to actually navigate with this information about what you are and who you are. And they do it very well.
Leslie, I don't know what day they would tell him. I said hello, and tell Abdullah I said hello. Tell your sisters I said hello. Tell your nephew or hello. Tell everybody we said hello. Keep your chin up and your nose clean, your britches on, and we're going to see y'all on the turnaround.
Well, thank you guys for being with us. We'll be back on Tuesday
glory
night,
be to
and
God.
as
Glory
said,
be to God.
We're going to see you on the tournament.
Glory be to God.
Have a wonderful Sunday. Sinette, I hope you're still with us. Have a wonderful Sunday.
Have a wonderful
Sinette.
Robert J.
Always in
Enjoy
Denmark.
your day.
Yeah, she's in sunny Denmark, she said. Glad to have you with us today, Sinette. Always.
I put my arms around all of you and I just squeezed the Holy Ghost juice out of you. Because it's mighty powerful and juicy. See ya.
See you guys.